Here's your Billy. Here's your Billy. Oh, here's a Sammy. It's a Billy and a Sammy. Oh, you stay in. Yeah. You want to come out, Billy? No, I'm going to keep you in. You don't really. You guys just want to play around in the house all day. You don't want to walk. Come on, Sammy. Let's make it two kitties, I know. It's two kitties, I know. Is a Sammy? It's a Billy. No, it's a Sammy and it's a Billy. Let me thoroughly confuse everybody. Oy vey. Does Billy Butt taste very good, Sammy? Where's your kitties? Here's the kitties. They're brothers. 12-year-old, big old brothers. They might be 13 by now. You really want to do it? You want to go do it outside, Billy? A little visit to the outdoors. You can be in the outdoors a little bit, Billy. Oh, it's a big, brave world, Billy. Oh, Sammy's interested. Sammy's like me too. But two kitties on the outside is too much for me. And one on the inside will keep the other from straying too far. They don't care. Sammy knows he'll have his turn. My little TP fire from last night that didn't happen. I'll probably start it tonight. It got a little humid overnight, I'm sure, but a little sunlight on that during the day, that'll dry that right up. And I'll finish off the TP, putting up sticks, little sticks, big sticks on little sticks. And that'll be a good campfire tonight. Or today, because we're not staying too late. Today's Sunday. This is the calm before the storm. After this weekend, the holiday weekend of July 4th, which was really a holiday week almost for a lot of people because of how it landed in the middle of the week, is over. And my head gets 100% back into the game on new things. I'm the new things guy because everything in the realm of solved problems is being done by some vendor product. I forget, it's not Search Metrics, but it's like Search Metric. It's something Metrics, I think. But it's my old trick of 360i Tiger and Pipulate. It's all the same. It's just manipulation of data inside Google Sheets. But whereas these third-party products are all plug-in based, and don't have an emphasis on like joining data and treating it as generic tables to be SQL manipulated, like set principles. It's all plug-in based, doing the most common things you'd want to do with each, which is basically updating some dashboard. Maybe to subsequently feed the data into Google Data Studio or other places where you design dashboards to make it prettier, and you have a real leveraging the Google Cloud dashboard solution. And those are good things. I support them. And one of those was made by a coworker of mine, which is taking one of my reports out of my hands, which is good because you don't want to be in the arms race of supporting old stuff. It's scrap and rebuild. And when you're building, when you're on the build side of the build versus buy equation, the best thing you can do is only just build those things you can't buy. You only build what can't be bought. You build what provides competitive advantage for a year tops, at which time you plan to scrap and rebuild, and you go through these phases and these cycles. They're a little bit painful, but if you're not on a framework where everything has to be a round peg to fit into a round hole, but instead you're on more of a generic language platform like Python and its third-party data manipulation package called Pandas, you can just adapt to any situation. It doesn't matter, data from any source. Then you start to treat it like you would in SQL with set principles, doing unions and joins and all that stuff you traditionally would think of in high tech liability SQL database environments. But I don't like the tech liabilities. Tech liabilities are a terrible thing. What I like is just loading stuff into your current working environment, tables, temporary tables from whatever sources, doing your SQL-like work there, and pushing it out to other output devices or other output systems, mostly Google spreadsheets, where you can do conditional color coding and add other interesting visuals to make it dashboard-like. And that's my main trick. Ooh, Billy's making a break for it. Ooh, yeah. Get your exercise there, Billy. I'm not going to force you inside, but if you want to go in, you can. I'm not going to let them both out at the same time, though. Sammy will have his chance. This is my trick of making Billy not go too far. The inseparable brothers. So, yeah, as things get taken out of my hands and go into other people's hands because they are in the realm of solved problems by third-party vendor products, I'll take on those things that aren't. But I have to be better, faster at taking on those things that are not plugin supported under Google Sheets, for example. And instead, basically just do manipulations of data in Pandas. Become a Pandas data master. I say data master. SEOs, the SEOs of today, the technical SEOs who are still in the business today, have some decisions to make because, oh, Billy, have you discovered the underground? The canoe. Lots of fun in store this summer. I'm 2 weekends in here at the Catskills at my colony, and it's only just begun. It's like almost like spring cleaning still in the first 2 weekends, settling in, getting to know the place again, and making a checklist of things to do, giving the kiddies their little experience. Last summer I thought I would never have the cats in the Catskills again because it was just me on that end, wrangling Addie, my, at the time, 6-year-old, and 3 cats. These 2 guys, plus a third who is more like a probability cloud than a cat, while I was trying to sell my place in Inwood, which didn't sell through the summer. It took a bit longer. And then I couldn't bring the cats out of the house for open houses anymore, so I was just like, F it. And I left the cats there during open houses, and it sold. And so you look back, the rigor I put myself through during the summer, maybe not necessary, but you know, who cares? Now I'm in the habit of having these guys here, and now that I have a little bit of help on transportation, I leave Charlie back home, and I bring Billy and Sammy here, and I give them their happy, fun Catskills times. They deserve it. 2 little kitties, I know. The brothers. And so that's where I am. I'm, repositioning from technical SEO, highly skilled technical SEO. I do systems like Hittail that have decade-long resilience and whose algorithms still work to provide strategic advantage in search engine optimization. I'm what you call the real deal in the business. There's a few of us out there. There's fewer still in New York City. And, what I'm doing now is I'm repositioning myself because Mike Levin, ML, machine learning. It's got to be all about machine learning, statistical stuff 2.0. but I'm not even through statistical stuff 1.0. So what I do is I master pandas, and I master spreadsheet environments without the spreadsheet software. Excel without Excel. That is pandas. So joining, unions, all that kind of happy stuff that you do in SQL, but under a purely Python multi-platform environment. So you can do it anywhere, you can do it anytime. You don't even rely on graphical user interfaces if you want to go real old school, which I do. And I'm going to teach others how to do that. Tune in. I'll patronize. I'll go Patreon. I'll be very patronizing as I ask for your Patreon money. And I'll teach you how to make the transition from whatever field you're in into data mastering, with an emphasis on the pandas library under Python, so you can do all those things SQL people did, but you can do it for yourself. If you've got some business plan that requires some data samurai stuff to find some magic number that'll help you make money, or you can do it as a gun for hire, such as I am. I like to think more like in the samurai model than other mercenary models, but basically you're working for a lord because you get to live a lord's life by punching a clock. That's what ye old samurais were. They avoided a lot of tribal warfare by simply chopping off a head with a single stroke instead of this, city warring with that city. So, data strikes, strategic data strikes, data from any source, any sort of SQL manipulation, any sort of higher end machine learning process that might require data source grab after data source grab. The grouping that happens, the categorization, either human guided categorization or categorization automatically by the machines, with the humans coming in and seeing what groupings occurred and then post facto labeling it, which is very interesting. Things like the computers that beat humans in the Chinese Go game come as a result of that. And that's all in my future, but I really am not going to rush it, because muscle memory, samurai movements, relearning SQL essentially is what it comes down to, using the pandas library under Python. So I think 13 minutes, that's a pretty good video. I need to keep on top of this cat. Don't let him out of my sight. And tune in for the future adventures of Mike Levin, SEO in New York City, and his merry band of comrades on his adventure of ditching the field of SEO. I'm not going to let him go under there. That is not going to be my morning. The transition of the merry old band of SEO, where we're kind of like Oracle snake oil salesman, future teller, analysts, I don't know, but into much the same thing, but with much more precise processes behind it. The same thing that's happening in the science field in validation of study results, because Jupyter Notebook, Python, Pandas is happening in the fields, in many fields in marketing, because Jupyter Notebook, Pandas, and accountability processes, algorithms, lifting it up from Jupyter Notebook, bringing it under automation systems, generic Linux automation systems, lightweight, and doing that rinse and repeat, improving it, retiring old stuff, putting new stuff in, using newer, better methodologies, emphasis on being the lightweight monkey in the middle of an API scheduling thing with a lot of ad hoc work that gets blended into the scheduling thing over time, and just the flow. New dashboards coming into existence to meet the real-time demands of the organization you're working for. SEO becomes data mastering. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again soon, and don't forget to subscribe.